Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome back to In Good Company, where real entrepreneurs share real growth stories. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it. What was interesting is when we started talking before we were recording, you were saying things that I did not even consider part of what you do. You were saying how we're looking for a solution. We're looking, which is in the name. You're in your name, you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
how I roll. Everything
yeah.
practical by nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody makes everything so dramatic, dangerous, sexy, expensive, mysterious.
Yeah.
First, I just want to say I love that you're doing this. When I started out in business,
Yep.
I didn't know that I didn't know anything. I came from parents that taught me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I came out of the womb, hit the ground running with a lot of gifts that I didn't earn. The good Lord just had high expectations for me. And so referencing my reading of the Hillbilly Elegy book in 2016, before it was cool, I'm always like 10 years ahead.
I love that.
And I didn't know that I didn't know things, but I knew I needed to know. I wanted to know. And so when I started in Charleston, until I could get my license, I waited tables. And I thought, how can I get attention? I bought crooked ink pens. And I started passing them out and said, hey, look for me when I finally can take the board, get my license and start practicing. And I then started outdoing the man from whom I was renting. His wife was wealthy. Their parents came from business.
Okay.
They kind of set him up.
Yeah.
But I did the opposite. I've done everything from the ground up without the professional financial. Now, Cecil and Diane Crowley of Wildwing Cafe, the first thing asked me, Julie, do you want an attorney, an accountant, marketing?
Right.
I didn't know that I needed it. I didn't have the money or resources. I wish I had met an Ashley Chamberlain and had this opportunity and understood what I didn't know.
Sure.
Fast forward a million years forward when I was the director at Life University, the chiropractic college, a job I didn't even apply for, but the good Lord saw fit after another incredible experience to put me in that position. And I had a perspective with my students, and the ones that listened, I didn't know everything, but I knew that when I ended up working with Dr. Rolls in Charleston, wealthy business owner, well-respected. I got under his armpit. I wasn't afraid to humble myself. He had something I didn't have, knowledge, experience, and a successful business. My goal was just to help people, to touch them, to teach them, to empower them. I got under his armpit and humbly listened and watched and learned. I watched associates after me sit in the room, put their feet up. And I don't know why they did that, but I was blessed to be able to watch him. I listened to him talk to staff, to patients, to workers' comp adjusters, to attorneys. I had to learn. I had no other way to learn. I regret that I didn't listen to Diane and Cecil and get those three professionals behind me in the beginning.
Yeah.
And the good Lord, again, every 5 years for the last 20 years, has different plans and missions for me. And that's why I'm sitting here today.
Yeah.
But I love that you're doing this, and your personality, your demeanor, your desire to share who you are, what you know. Holly, part of the WOW Network, when she and I first met or started working together, and I asked her for help for something, I'm like, you're a little bit too for me, TOO.
Okay.
And I said, so if we're going to work on this together, you can't be two. And she gets me. She understands that. So your demeanor, Nirvana chick, I'm loving this. And so I'm very comfortable here now. So thank you for having me, number one.
Glad. Of course.
And, just helping people. So what I would tell my advisee students. So I got chiropractors that were in their last 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And the ones that would listen, it was great. They'd come back a few years later because they were willing to learn from what I didn't know. The ones that didn't know that they didn't know and they didn't want to know, I would tell them you're dangerous. And sadly, we've got a whole population of those humans.
Yep.
And they're indignant and they're getting voices. And I hate it. For the people out there really trying to listen and learn, I was so blessed and fortunate to get under the armpit of a man who was doing things right. My daddy taught me, consider your source. Yeah. So who are your sources?
My sources, it changes, and I'm going to take a page from your book.
the good Lord puts me in places to learn,
Mhm.
to observe, to humble me. Um, I find myself in rooms with people that are smarter than me regularly. And it used to intimidate me. And it's kind of like we were talking before. I was in a small graduating class, few women, mostly men. I've always been the youngest accountant in the room. That used to really scare me. It used to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. But now every room I go in humbly and just what can I learn from this person? Just sitting out in the lobby before we came in here, I was thinking, I love the energy that you're bringing, and I want to learn how to do that for myself. Like it
Mm.
just felt warm. I felt like I don't know Dr. Julie as a whole, but I want to, and I want to
Thank you.
bring that. So my source is everyone around me, every
Yeah.
single person. I have a lot of mentors. I work with a business coach, and I've had him on this podcast before actually, and you learn something from everyone. You can't assume people from the internet.
Yeah.
People are so different in person, and so I just feel very grateful to have this kind of opportunity because every episode I learn something,
Yeah.
whether it's what this person does, chiropractic solutions, or just how to show up in a room with warmth and
Yeah.
sunshine. So I am grateful that you're here. I shockingly, when I started asking people, like, do you want to be on this podcast? I didn't realize that I was asking more people that have never done it than seasoned people, which I love because I think when you show up to a podcast, you're expected to know everything there is to know about your industry because, oh my gosh, why would you go on a podcast without that? But what I love is people still come in and say, I don't know everything, but I know enough and I want to work with people because this is what I consider myself an expert in, whether it's one part of it or the entirety. So I want this to be everyone's first podcast because it's a conversation.
Yeah.
I think something like going to a chiropractor. You're already laughing because I have gone to chiropractors before, several times throughout my life. Injuries, car accidents. I work at at a desk job, and so
Yeah.
every couple of years, I'm like, it just is a thing.
Yeah.
And I've never felt warmth and sunshine. When I walk in, I hear cracking.
In our office setting right now, so I told you I was rear-ended 3 times
Yeah.
in 14 months, starting May of 2022. So like it was 3 years ago.
Gosh.
I can't make this up, but again,
Yeah.
God every 5 years for the last 25 years gives me these extraordinary, unique experiences.
Yep.
Because it's that authenticity.
Yep.
When you talk to me, I don't think I know. Everybody
Yeah.
knows what happens with modern medicine.
Yes.
And I am so thankful for what my medical colleagues can do. I've broken my wrist. I had a choledochal cyst and a Roux-en-Y hepatico-jejunostomy.
Oh my God, that was
That
so
was experience
beautiful
number
sounding.
1. I know I sound so cool. I'm trying to show off with big words.
I love it. It's giving me chills.
And I think I would love for my poor colleagues to take a break. Modern medicine has a time and a place. And in the last 50 years, we have seen the excitement, the growth in technology, and concurrently, we've watched individuals lose sight of their responsibility in that healthcare role. And sadly, we have so many voices out there. People want to be entrepreneurs, and I think have good hearts and good intentions.
Sure.
But sadly, if I was somebody your age trying to figure all of this out, you get overwhelmed, you get so confused.
Yeah.
They're distorted thoughts and ideas. So my profession, so the setting I have right now, we also have brain core neurofeedback.
Okay.
So you've got the brain, the spinal cord.
Yep.
Which is what we manage with brain core neurofeedback, drug-free technology.
Okay.
That creates neuroplasticity.
Okay.
And rather than a child or a grown-up being prisoner to a doctor getting a prescription and then hoping that they can afford it and take the medications as they're supposed to for their entire life, we have technology that helps to restore when your brain has been punched mentally, physically, or chemically to fill in the potholes or break up the speed bumps so that all that cognition. So there's a lot of people out there that mindfulness, people try so hard, but our lifestyles today, so we've talked about age.
Yeah.
I'll get to there in a minute.
Yeah.
We help with that. And we've done it
Okay.
for 10 years brilliantly. The quality of our technology, I see all these people. Again, I went to a wellness event the other night and they've got a device.
Yep.
And they're going to take people's money and they're going to mislead them and they're not going to actually correct stuff. Neurofeedback
Okay.
for over 60 years actually does make those physiological changes with true neuroplasticity. And we just happen to have been fortunate enough to get the Brain Core product, which it was devised by chiropractors, brilliant people in my profession. And we deliver it in a way that I haven't seen replicated anywhere nearby. And my husband's the one who's the overseer of that because I hate technology. You saw me freak out with this microphone. I fix people with my bare hands. And my portion then, chiropractors, we focus on the little nerves that emanate from the spine that allow you to move and to feel. And guess what? They also allow your organs to function. There's no special pathway. You don't satellite beam information from the brain out to the organs.
So it's all connected.
So the spinal cord, 100%.
Okay.
And so when I'm delivering a chiropractic adjustment, it can then make changes in the brain. With that being said, when I started my profession, guess when I got my first home computer? 1997. I was called doctor.
I was going to say the 90s. I was going to say the 90s.
I was called doctor in 1996. And my first big purchase was to get a home computer. And I got AOL Messenger mouse arm.
AOL. Do you remember your AOL username?
Oh, I still use it. And I can't tell you because it's on my bank statements. It's my username still. So nobody search it up.
Well, we can just use our imagination. That's so fun.
Part of the reason Dr. Julie is who she is I'm a perfectionist by nature. I like everything has to be just so. And 3 years into practice, I was acknowledging conditions in my patients due to the new sedentary computer-based lifestyle, brain overwhelm, lack of movement, exposure to more information in life. I realized what I had been trained, I wasn't equipped with these new things showing up. So in the year 2000, 3 years into practice, I traveled around the country for 2 years and learned extremities.
That's cool.
And I got to visit friends. And then part of that extremity rehab, I guess people say, how do I explain to you, Dr. Julie? And I don't know, sports chiropractic maybe helps you evolve because the word extremity, there sadly a lot of people are like, what's that? You know?
Sounds extreme.
And so sports chiropractic, but it also taught me how to manage soft tissue. So the chiropractic piece, my poor colleagues that have stayed in insurance, I did up until these last injuries. I tried because I loved my patients. I'm in a demographic that needed me to stay there. But I take the time to educate. And I was in the military. I was in the Air Force National Guard. So I'm pretty bossy also.
I love it.
I expect people to take their role in it. And so our society, all of our systems are out of bounds.
100%.
You're part of the financial system. People make excuses, blame other people. You sit there repeating, well, if you do this, 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 and this, let's do an assessment. Let's then create goals. And somewhere in the middle, we work together to help you go from where you are now to where you want to be. I do that in healthcare. And again, I'm a mechanic. The other 4 roles and responsibilities are inherent upon you. In 2025, all of my healthcare colleagues right now, those of you trying to help with financial health, school systems, parenting, if we can go at it with love and empathy, if we can go back to God's brilliant creation and look at our scripture and look at how we were created, why we're created, what we're supposed to be doing. You know, I joke if it's dangerous, sexy, or expensive, people want to do it. Well, sadly, I'm kind of dull. Other than my skill, my ability, skill. It's like I was a great softball pitcher too. And it was because instead of playing with Barbies, my daddy had me in the backyard pitching every single night as a chiropractor as well. I am a lifetime learner. I just finished pediatric postural neurology certification.
Ooh.
After my concussions,
Okay.
I had 3 concussions after these injuries. I'm 55 now. And having post-concussive syndrome, I realized what a lack of understanding
Mm-hmm.
and true comprehensive treatment plans are out there, and a totality of how to help somebody heal from that.
Yeah.
So I then completed in my concussed stupor
Yeah.
a complete concussions management course, a doctorate level, 30 hours.
You're like, I'm going through
It was
this, I'm gonna
stinking
do it.
hard. Like, I don't have to do this anymore at this age.
Yeah. What are you doing?
But I choose to. I cannot go to a patient and not be prepared. And if I don't know, I tell them that, and I'll say, I'll find out. And I love that about you.
Mhm.
You realize you're younger. You're 15 years in your profession now. So you've got a lot of, street cred. You got some stuff behind you.
Yeah.
But you're also humble enough to say, you know what, I got to keep growing and learning.
Always.
And I totally applaud you for being here and
Thank
continuing
you.
to do it. Because sometimes
Thank you.
we incite something, inspire, create insight in somebody else in this engagement. And so
100%. I hope we do, because I think that the internet makes people, feel like they have to show up as their best selves all the time. And sometimes that gets in people's heads. So they think, if I am on the internet saying, I'm the best, I'm an expert, you have to work with me because I'm the best. Sometimes that gets in your head. And I think that it makes people sit in contentedness versus, you want people to believe that you're good at what you do, but you're still going to show up humbly and you're still going to keep learning. So I think there's a big difference.
Well, you got to deliver the goods.
Yes. If you're the best, you got to follow through.
And then it's the longevity of it. They've got the new pill and potion and this and that. And it just breaks my heart that people get misled, spend money, and they stay on that roller coaster.
Yeah.
And when I explain the simplicity, you were brilliantly created. I'm a structure function girl. I don't memorize well.
Okay.
But you let me touch the human body and get started, and then teach and explain how you got to this place.
Okay. Yeah. You can get there.
Then I, if it was a race, I'll carry you the first 4 laps when we first meet. It takes about 3 months to truly make a physiological change.
Okay.
So you're going to have to tell me how long it takes to turn around finances and bookkeeping and accounting. You're going to have to tell me that.
Hard.
But the first lap, after the first month, we stop bad habits, get joints moving, my skill of 30 years.
Yep.
Get rid of inflammation. We start with localized. And if I get to know you enough, I think you'll receive it from me. We'll start talking about systemic digestive inflammation, because that's powerful.
Okay.
But it's still more simple than you think. You want to put less in.
So this is the second. This is the
So
second.
no, the first
It's
2
still
weeks.
in the first. Okay.
First 2 weeks. Muscles take 2 to 10 days to heal.
Gotcha.
Tendons and ligaments take 2 weeks to 12 weeks.
Okay.
So we stop bad habits, get joints moving,
Okay.
get rid of inflammation. Most people, when they go to a chiropractor, they feel a little bit better. They think we've done something because those muscles have had 10 days to change. They're full of that brilliant blood supply. Tendons and ligaments, they need pressure and movement. So the chiropractic adjustment, that's why people think we're magic. It then creates change in that white connective tissue, discs, nerves, tendons, ligaments.
Okay.
That they begin to change. But the next phase,
you feel like something's happening.
the boring, non-sexy, bless my physical therapy counterparts' hearts, all of us chiropractors have to get our licensure in physiotherapy, rehabilitation therapy, physical therapy.
Okay.
And people want to mince words with our boards about it. So forgive me if I'm saying it the wrong way, but we have a separate board licensure. You have to have that to be a chiropractor, but us chiropractors, our philosophy doesn't match up with that part. As I got further in my profession with the technology, posture, breakdown, sedentary lifestyle, poor food, brain, mental health issues, that physical therapy part is absolutely necessary. And like I said, but people, if insurance doesn't pay for it, they only have a certain time span.
Yes.
They expect, to get well. They don't want to hear, like, one of the things I tell my patients, if you wanted to eat brownies, they're not like, the take and bake cookies that take 8 minutes. You put them in at 9 minutes, you can smell them. But if you take them out, they're still gooey inside.
They're not ready.
39 minutes. Same thing with healthcare. People don't want to hear what natural healing time takes. Well, I'm very good at telling them that and making it clear to them.
What I write now.
But my colleagues who are in the insurance system, they don't have the time. and they get a clientele, a demographic that their lives are already so hard and stressful, and then they're empowered by, sadly, poor behavior on social media, that they can disparage their healthcare providers, that they don't respect and understand, and they don't want to take a role in it, or just me empathetically realizing we go through seasons in life. You're about ready to head into it. Your 40s, they're tricky. You just kind of survive a little bit. So there's seasons.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I forget my point, but the next phase, you've got to stretch what's short and tight.
Okay.
So put down your cell phone, period. If you're not doing a text or taking a phone call, put it down. Then there's a stabilization piece, and that most people are bored before they even begin that. So if you stretch something the way we're supposed to load our structure, then you have to get your brain and the joints and all the surrounding soft tissues, that neurological piece. So many kids with that forward head neck posture, we're heading into disaster bigger than anybody thinks, because their poor brains are wasting so much bandwidth on just helping that human be upright.
So
it has to
concept.
spend so. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, that is a
we have
thing.
neurology in my practice. I've got a pediatric postural neurology certification. We've had neurofeedback. I don't think I know. I'm speaking the truth.
Yes.
And but people then want to give me a hard time about putting down their cell phone. And so stop bad habits. Is that what I've been saying for 30 years of my entire practice? If you'll just stop your bad habits. But in today's world, how dare you tell me not to do what I need or want to do? And back to my empathetic side, my understanding as a 55-year-old woman and a 30-year practitioner, mentally, emotionally, physically, neurologically, a lot of people can't get started. They can't. Like they're so evolved into that isolated, too fast of brain twitch, physical breakdown, lack of emotional connection and support. And so that's why we love our neurofeedback practice. Is all you have to do is show up. Actually, there was a girl who looked just like you, but she walked in and she was literally catatonic. And so that was when I had a busy, active practice before my injuries. So I knew everybody until I didn't. And so as Devin was running the neurofeedback practice, I watched her friend and her mother escort her back to the treatment room. 2 months later, I'm coming out late at night, ready to close up, and Devin was finishing up, and I look up and I glance. I realize it's her, expecting nothing. She's like, "Hey, Dr. Julie, I peed my pants."
Oh my! Where did that come
in like
from?
6 to 8 weeks, she had evolved so far with that neurofeedback training. Her potholes had been filled in. Her speed bumps had been broken up and whittled down. So now she had a balanced neurological structure. That then all the love and support she had, and that's what we see with our ADHD kids, ADD kids, anxiety, depression kids. So my husband always, when he and I first got married, he was on the dark side. He was a trucker. I'm kidding. I love the perks of the pharmaceutical industry. I'm not going to lie. But the phrase that got him is structure equals function. And I was just at the Science Center. I had my nephews this week.
The Science Center.
Well, on one of the walls where you build, it pretty much encapsulates that. Structure equals function.
Hey there, my little biz besties. It's Ashley Chamberlain, host of In Good Company and CEO of Chamberlain and Good Company, the virtual accounting firm that actually speaks human. If you're a business owner and you've ever found yourself staring at QuickBooks like it's a literal foreign language, wondering if your miscellaneous category is secretly plotting against you, this is for you. We just launched something new, a private Facebook group called Mind Your Business and Your Books. It's for business owners who want real answers, real support, maybe a little less panic when it comes to your books. We're talking QuickBooks help, tax tips, mindset shifts, because yes, money is mental, and a community that actually gets it. How rare, right? It's $30 for your first month because we believe in starting strong without breaking the bank. That's not what we're trying to do here. After that, the price goes up. We'll go live twice a month. We'll answer your questions that are submitted by you ahead of time. Search Mind Your Business and Your Books on Facebook, or just check the link in the show notes. Join us. Your spreadsheets and your sanity will thank you.
People are getting caught up in the first part, which is essentially habit breaking.
Stop bad habits.
That is the hardest. Would you say that's one of the hardest parts? Are they equally hard?
It is.
I do agree from a financial health perspective.
But it's
first part
simple
is the
though. You can do
hardest.
spinal hygiene. Like if you spill
Yeah.
milk, you got to wipe it up. So with you
Yeah.
in finance, what is it? What's your first steps? What are the bad habits?
Spending more than you have, getting what I call squirrel syndrome, wanting to put your eggs in too many baskets, wanting to overcomplicate it, just keeping it simple, starting with one habit. You know, if it's spending, which I have a family member, it's spending. First thing I tell her is use a budget, and the budget is have a no spend day, or start even smaller than that.
Why does she need to keep spending? What emotional component is she trying to fill?
I have my own opinions.
Well,
But my opinion is she works from home. She's not stimulated.
wait, are you going to get in trouble by talking about her right now?
She knows. She knows I'm talking about her because she watches the podcast.
Yeah.
She's at home. She is not being stimulated.
Yeah.
She doesn't leave the house very often.
Right.
And so the internet has given her an outside world view.
Yeah.
And so when she spends, and it's not on things she needs, it's not on a toothbrush and toothpaste, it's on clothes that she would wear if she had a job in an office. But I think there's a chemical reaction that happens when people spend. The dopamine that builds up when you're clicking add to cart, when you're watching it go into your cart, when you're putting in your numbers, when you push pay, the dopamine rises. But then after you're done, you get the email, thank you for buying this thing.
It's over and you forget about it. Have you seen that? Have you in your 15 years seen that get to be more prevalent?
Oh, it is at an all-time high right now. When I first started, which now I might show my age, Amazon wasn't a thing. Amazon was probably selling books,
Right.
as it was first intended. It wasn't as easy. People weren't getting groceries online.
Yeah.
You had to get out to go get your groceries. So I think the spending, the need for dopamine hits, making it sound like a drug, but I mean, same thing. So spending is the biggest habit that is the
Your
hardest
age
to break.
range, is it a dopamine hit or is it like for my age group, it's
Mm.
practicality? Like what I buy on Amazon isn't a dopamine hit. For me,
Sure.
it's just practicality. It's a brilliant time saver because
Yes.
as we continue to evolve, there are less things in the store sometimes that I need and want.
Yep.
The time it takes to run around store
Oh,
to store and
for
get it
sure.
delivered.
Yeah.
Um,
And I can see that.
But
I-
your
I
your
also-
age group, that demographic, because you guys
Yeah.
are stuck there. You have had
Yeah.
technology. Let's say 1997. You said you were about 8, 9, or 10.
Yep. So we grew up with it. But I also think that who I'm speaking about, it's less practicality. But for myself, yes, I am shopping on Amazon for a bulk order of toothpaste.
Right.
Because now with a family of 4, I don't have to shop as much. I can just disperse it throughout the house. I think that when I shop for things that aren't out of practicality, for me, I get the small feeling of, oh, I'm so excited. I just bought this dress that I might wear somewhere fancy.
Yeah.
And the feeling I get while buying the dress is so much greater than when it arrives. Because when it arrives, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's happening a lot financially with people.
What's happening with today's economy? Are you feeling shifts and changes?
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster.
It
I
really
can't
is a
even
roller
track it
coaster.
at this point. I've stopped
Oh,
trying.
it's awful. It's, just the standard of living that because that keeps going up, I think that people respond poorly. I think about years and years and years ago, the Great Depression, right?
Mhm.
People were hiding money under their mattress, people were making meals last as long as like humanly possible.
Yeah.
But I think today it's the opposite. So people are afraid of, what's happening. They are overspending. They're using sadness and hard times as a reason to treat yourself.
When you're young, though, how are these people getting access to all this money? I mean, the depression, the love of my life, my mama. You can tell I am Appalachian. So Gladys Lyles, she literally was in the Great Depression. Luckily, she had married a man a bit older than she, and they had somewhat of a wealthy farm.
Okay. Yeah.
And so she had to serve others. I just finished in a book club, Becoming Madam Secretary. And you read that back then they literally had nothing.
No, nothing.
Here in America, I was a Eurotrash girl. I may or may not have traveled Europe in 1994. And I came home and I was in Ariana Grande. I licked the donut. I thought we were the most gluttonous people. Now I get told I'm cynical and mean when I say that. But I appreciate culture. I'm a Taurus.
Yep.
You know, dance, music, good food, good connected relationships, communication. It doesn't take much to make me happy. You know, I did tell you I've got a little bit of a perfectionist trait, though. So I do like things to be just right. But then that's when I produce well. But and today I'm still confused. Like back then, there literally was nothing. The people that are, I think, the most lacking in our society now, a lot of times are just mentally ill. They don't have the capacity. Yeah. And I do understand that there are people that have much less than I. And for that, my son, husband, and I pray for him every night. And I look for ways to serve. But, you know, the obesity population.
Right.
We spend too much money on food that we don't need to eat. And when people talk about scarcity and access, truth is you can be sustained by those $6 or $7 dozens of eggs. Guess what? You can eat 2 or 3 eggs. You know, and be sustained. So
you know, it's hard to wrap your head around, you know, the cost of living going up so much, and you know, people not making enough to, you know, keep up with that. But yet people turn to spending. And so in your mind you think, well, how can you spend if you are not making enough money to live? Well, poor choices, obviously, but the access to money now is so much greater than like the Great Depression. There was nothing. You didn't have access to credit cards. You know, there was not a bad credit, good credit situation like there is today. You can have a 500 credit score and still get a credit card, which is so irresponsible.
Yeah.
The access to funds is just so much greater, which gives people more chances. I'm going to say it doesn't get them out of the first phase of what you were speaking about. It makes it harder to break those habits because of the access to all these bad ones.
Right.
You know, so when you talk about breaking habits, you know, just starting, people, I think, sit in that phase the longest because of the access that they have. It's hard. It is one of the hardest things when I'm working with someone that wants to strategize, create their plan. They don't want to tell me all the bad habits. They just want to tell me the biggest ones that they think.
Well, you can tell though when you do the assessment. What's like the length of your treatment plan? Like, how do you get started? Do you say, hey, we're starting today, and by next month we should be here doing this, next month here?
Yeah.
Do you start them with like 1-year goals, 3-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals, retirement goals? I know you're not a financial planner, and you also have to likely have knowledge.
Right.
So if you started with a new client,
heavily dependent on what their goals are, heavily dependent on what industry there are. I see a lot. So right now, what's shocking when I first started working with people is I thought I'm going to be a blue collar, a trades girl, because that's what I know. I've had jobs in the construction world, I know trades. And recently we've had a lot of online coaches come to us, right? Totally different energy than the trades.
Yeah.
The biggest things with the trades, they don't come to us, you know, the plumbers, the electricians. They don't come to us and say, I'm manifesting $1 million.
Right.
They're like, I'm dreaming of a big life. They're like, I want to, you know, I want to just be able to make payroll and not take a pay cut this month. Or, you know, I want to buy this building because I need to expand my shop.
What's your best strategy right now for that kind of
for the trades? And that's what I was going to get to, is this is the habit. the trades want to serve their clients in a different way. So when I say you want to buy the shop because you want to expand, you want to buy a bigger fleet, you want to buy more equipment, you got to raise your prices.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is the first thing I say. How long have you been at that current price?
Yep.
Oh, since 1984.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to tell you, everybody has probably raised their price since then. So raising their prices is usually the first one. Usually.
Can I interject one thing right now that's
yeah.
poignant? In Charleston, South Carolina, in 1997, when I delivered a chiropractic adjustment, Blue Cross Blue Shield, we would send in a claim, paper claim, so we had to pay staff to do that. I got paid $32 for the main code that almost all my colleagues use, 98941.
Yeah.
Guess what? When I moved to Louisville, Kentucky in 2006, I was at least a decade of practicing. Guess how much Anthem paid me? $35.18. When I left, guess how much they paid me? $35.18. And now there are more hoops to jump through. There's more electronic products, programs that I have to buy, more training. The denials are becoming rampant. Do you know how much Humana paid me? $28 or $29. So I actually took a pay cut. Even when I got out 4 years ago, I was making that or less.
Yeah.
And then you have insurance companies that they cap what you as the patient can spend in my office. So I may have more skills and you need what I have to offer. The sicker you get, the more you need. We are licensed, in fact, to offer it, but then they start cutting it, and then they're forcing my colleagues to jump through more and more and more administrative hoops. If I could list the amount of money I lost from Humana reaching back into my bank account, taking money out after I had delivered care, who does that? I've been guided towards the Department of Labor, and if I cared about that enough, maybe that will be one of the next steps I take. The Department of Labor, there's nobody that. But then our patients, the insurance company comes in between us and our patient and creates disruption. So I've got thoughts and ideas about it. I've written Governor Beshear many times. I wish he'd sit down with me and let me guide him after my 30 years of getting my income from being a healthcare provider.
Right.
But anyway, I digress. But it's just back to keep going.
No, it's the same. It really is the same. And I think
so you tell them to raise their prices. But my colleagues who are in insurance,
when you're on a fixed,
who are doing the same volume
that
they've done, and they were happy. Their patients love them. There's a 85 to 95% satisfaction rate from chiropractic patients to chiropractors. Our profession is going to rise 10% in the next 10 years. It's projected.
Interesting.
My colleagues, though, the good ones, those of us that are good and skilled clinicians, we're not out there beating the bushes. We don't have room for new people. So that's why you're all confused. It's the young ones without the skills, without the ability, if they don't have business acumen or background, who are trying to stay in the insurance system that y'all demand us stay into. Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. But it's an impossible financial logistic. It doesn't fit anymore.
Right.
And my poor colleagues continue, because we chiropractors are altruistic at heart, to take less and do more and deal with more chaos from insurance and the patient as the patient's healthcare needs rise.
Right.
So if we could get this out there, the next topic you and I need to have is healthcare right or responsibility.
Right.
And it's a trick question, but we won't do that today. So back to,
I love
but when people approach my colleagues,
please,
please have more grace, love, and consideration for your healthcare providers. And when I say my colleagues, not just chiropractors, every single healthcare provider. And if you expect them to take your insurance, so the pieces I haven't gotten to. So stretch, stabilize, strengthen, that is just a basic treatment plan.
Yes.
If you have not completed a treatment plan with a chiropractor, completed it, you don't get to speak about us, period. I'm just going to throw in that military Jerry Lyles, business.
The time.
Rhetoric, you don't get to talk. You wouldn't talk about a restaurant you've never been to.
Right.
So those of you thinking you can talk about chiropractic if you've never completed all of those parts of a chiropractic treatment plan, please just stop.
Yeah.
The next piece of chiropractic wellness, since 1895, we have delivered with education, because we have more training in nutrition and psychology than anybody knows. Our initial intake as primary healthcare providers.
Okay.
You can walk into me with anything. Now, if you just went and broke your arm, please don't bother me. Go to the emergency room.
Sure.
But
I
a lot, and if you knew you're having a heart attack, again, please don't bother me. Go to the emergency room.
Go somewhere else.
Everything else, you can come in. I have the skills and ability through a thorough history and examination to discern, hey, yes, let's start treatment. I can directly begin on your care. Or, hey, let's begin your treatment and co-manage. I'm going to refer you out to here. Or, no, get out of my office and go straight to modern medicine because you have a condition beyond what we want to do now after you've gotten that managed or handled, come back.
So you're not saying you don't believe in medicine. You're saying there's a time and a place and we're going to see what we can do.
And the world's getting back to it, whether they want to or not. I mean, when I started my profession is when all of a sudden copay started to rise. There's more skin in the game. In Charleston, people had $5 and $10 copays. Dr. Rolls was a millionaire, but he worked his butt off. He saw 85 people a day. People weren't as unhealthy because he didn't deal with that technology posture.
Sure.
Right as I started, I got that technology population.
Yep.
Chronic lifestyle diseases set in. So that's the second part of the chiropractic wellness that patients can handle.
Technology population. Is that
around 1997 is when it pretty much began.
Okay.
The sedentary lifestyle and all the sequelae that came from it.
Oh.
And so the stretch, stabilize, strengthen, the people that are still in insurance now in chiropractic, they're fighting us. So the beauty of my practice is under one roof. I do 1 hour appointments now. Wow. I take care of everything again. Okay. And if you have brain, body, nutrition, I have a program for that.
Yeah.
But the things I empower, so that going around the track, in the beginning, I'll carry you all 4 laps. After a month, though, that we started changing the body, at 4 weeks, your body lays down new cells.
Yep.
And so we've stopped your bad habits. I'm getting the joints moving. We're working on getting rid of inflammation.
Yeah.
We start into that stretching phase. So that next month, I'll put you down for 2 laps. We go into stabilization phase. Then and only then would I consider strengthening that. I would never. So you wouldn't tell me to go invest my emergency fund if I'm like on Amazon all day buying $300 worth of stuff. But sadly, you see all these things trying to strengthen people on top of these spinal lesions, on top of these brain imbalances. And if people could just understand those 3 months that you would invest in thorough, good health care, but back to the whole insurance thing, people aren't able to get the level of care, at least that we proudly deliver in my office.
That you would want them to, because I know that insurance, when I spoke about going to a chiropractor before, I'm always going to be at some kind of desk job. So I'm always going to feel like I'm fighting this. So when I went to the chiropractor, my insurance told the office that I had like 10 visits for the whole year.
That's enough to pretty much adequately manage an acute episode. The actuarians, and you know who those are, the smart financial people in insurance companies. Just like in Kentucky, there's $10,000 PIP if you get in a car accident. Those insurance companies aren't going to put up that much money if it wasn't warranted. There's a ton of research and financial understanding behind that amount being put up. So you get the careless patient who says to the chiropractor, well, you're going to treat me till my insurance benefits run out. No, actuarians in the insurance company and in your company you work for discern how much they care about how you can deliver what you purchased or what you think is important. So 10 to 12 visits gets you through an initial action treatment plan. Other plans, usually I would see 12 or 20 or 26. So my personal injury patients, quite often I can treat them in about 20 to 30 visits, depending on how severe. And that's when they may or may not have met MMI. But back to what you were saying is that you were advising these blue collar, these, trade industries how to grow. In healthcare, is it a right or responsibility? The demands on my colleagues, including medical healthcare too, the systems were created for norms. Now we have chronic lifestyle disease that sadly is being managed by most of your primary healthcare providers and make my ability to actually affect change in you harder. That's why Dr. Julie continues. Yes, I do talk about myself in third person. Continues to develop her skills. So I do offer dry needling. I do offer shockwave therapy for my need for my surgery.
What's dry needling?
We'll talk about it in a minute.
I love that.
But the pieces, then I begin from day one teaching my patient balanced nutrition. I have a paper questionnaire, and then I'm part of an app called MLIQ that can help you assess yourself and then guide you directly.
Yeah.
Balanced nutrition, period. It's not that hard. It's not. I've had to read every single book out there on nutrition because my patients read them.
Okay.
And everybody spins it, but the foods you shouldn't eat don't change. The foods you should eat don't change, period. It's not that stinking hard, and you should eat less.
Yeah.
Exercise. Do you get up and move your body? Guess what? Dancing. The Dance We, or get out Richard Simmons, Dancing with the Oldies, or just, the Grey's Anatomy dance party. Like, move your stinking body. You don't have to get on equipment. You don't have to go to a gym. You can walk, whatever it is. Balanced nutrition, adequate, consistent exercise, adequate amounts of sleep and rest. We're in a society that brags about, well, let me be clear, sister. In book 1 of the Bible, Jesus, God talks about it.
Yeah.
We have to rest, and people glamorize and think they're special and wonderful that they don't rest. Well, guess what? They're destroying their bodies faster.
Yeah. It's not cute, and it's not a...
No, setting bedtimes for your children.
Yep.
Modeling those bedtimes. Taking days off, not over filling your schedules.
Yep.
My family as a practice, Breck was only in one activity up until he told us he could handle more, and that's only been in the last couple years. My son's 18. We value time off and rest. We have bedtimes.
Yeah.
And the last piece is healthy coping strategies. So this person that you're going to have to take to lunch after this and make up for talking about her.
For sure.
Her coping strategies. There are so many other things she can do. I start with prayer. When I lived in Charleston and I was alone, a single woman starting out, poor, with the daunting challenge of being a doctor but not knowing how to do it.
Right.
My wiener dog and I walked around downtown Charleston, South Carolina for stinking hours. Moses, the fact that he didn't die, bless his heart, from the heat on his little paws, his little tongue would be wrapped around his tail. But that's how he dealt with stress. You know what I mean? You can journal. You can call a friend. You can pray. You can, churches are free. Like, we've got to go back to that. The people I see struggling the most are the ones that are proud that they don't dive into the same faith that has sustained me for the last 55 years.
Who's winning? Not you.
So back to that. So again, with healthcare, patients have more respect and grace. Try to understand the pigeonhole we're in trying to deliver with insurance.
Right.
And then understand that those care providers aren't getting raises, but more demands are being placed. Yeah. The reason insurance is not successful anymore is because we have people not following balanced nutrition, exercising consistently, getting adequate amounts of sleep and rest, and pursuing healthy coping strategies. Yeah. I don't get people well just fixing their spine anymore, because all those things weren't so distorted or out of bounds.
Right.
So those financial people, all of those systems, the school systems, if you don't have parenting, the schools can't fix that. No. Financially, if your friend keeps spending, the government can't fix that.
Right.
If you're not eating properly, if you're not moving your body, if you're not getting the rest you need and dealing with your stress properly, there's only so much your healthcare provider can do. And we're in a state of chronic lifestyle crisis. And, COVID highlighted that. The people that died first are the comorbidities, the people that had the chronic lifestyle diseases. And all of this is just logical and sensible, and I'm telling you with facts and experience.
It's not,
but people don't want to listen to me. It's so funny.
No, you're not telling me the secrets of the universe.
It's not profound. If you teach me how to make it profound, maybe we can get somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, I want to touch on, before we came into this room, or maybe when we were already in here, you had asked about the demographic. You had asked about my audience, and you said, well, I usually get the kids and the pickleball queens based. Yeah. I'm saying my own words there. So what is probably one of the most common things, if you could even say something like that people come to you for?
And when I say teens, that when I started in Charleston, I was with college kids. There were a lot of people from New England that found me. That 15 to 25-year-old age group. Okay. They're not the millennial demographic, the Gen Y demographic.
Okay.
That demographics, I'm not even sure how to broach them at the moment. My practice, I was starting to love them. Those were the ones that were coming when I did take insurance.
Okay.
You guys can sniff out. Some doesn't make sense.
Right.
But yet you're still in the systems enough because of your parents' insurance
Yeah.
that you're confused. Now, this Gen Z crowd that I'm treating, the 15 to 25-year-olds, we get in our practice. We're a specialty practice because of the brain health that we give.
Yeah.
Devin and I share a lot of patients. Structurally, that head, neck, forward posture that then compresses the ability of the heart and the lungs.
Yeah. Okay.
The stomach, these kids are having bladder issues, bowel issues, and then their moods and emotions, and then the pain. So I help get them upright, structurally loading, and they're lovely. I feel like this generation is beautiful, and they're going to be, whether it's a 100-year cycle, maybe we're not all that special.
Sure.
We just think we are at the phase we're in.
We're big deals here.
But that crowd, the head, neck pain, headaches. I had a young lady, a 15-year-old dizziness, but she doesn't do anything. I love her and her family. I've treated her mom for 1,000,000 years.
Yeah.
She's the middle child who then there's older sisters and brothers and then a younger one.
Okay.
And then she just doesn't really do much. She doesn't play. She doesn't move. She doesn't dance. She's not in a sport.
Interesting.
And she started having dizziness. Her mom took her to she ruled out all the scary stuff, brain MRI, CTs, blood work, heart inspection.
What's going on in here?
Guess what? In 4 adjustments and stopping bad habits, getting joints moving, get rid of inflammation.
Yeah.
She's now 2 months into the treatment plan, now starting to build stability and strength. I keep evolving and progressing her.
Yeah.
That very scary, but I then also am happy to work with the medical professionals to rule out the neurological severe blips in the screen.
Yeah.
My pickleball, I love them. They're people my age that know you can be well. You see all this, these people trying to sell products. Saying, after this age, you have this big fat belly or your joints hurt. Well, guess what? If you stop your bad habits, you go to a structural care provider, meaning mostly chiropractors. Massage therapists are brilliant. They help. PTs help, but nobody does what we trained chiropractors do. And if you start with us first, and if my colleagues don't want to offer anything for massage or physical therapy, sadly, then you do have to go to multiple offices, and insurance continues to try to decrease our ability to deliver everything and make it convenient and effective for the patient.
Yeah.
I do it in my hour appointments with a solid price.
Yeah.
And then it gives me as the practitioner time. We then have the brain health care. We've added the hyperbaric chamber, and then we've also got what I call the seeking positive alternatives room, the mechanical traction and zero gravity, the PEMF infrared mats. We've got all the good stuff, and it's done though after we start to actually make neuroplastic changes in the brain, and we make true structural changes in the body. Yeah. But my pickleball people, I love them. They're loving life. They're building community.
Older pickleball people. My 13-year-old get down with some pickleball.
Well, I love that, and I'm trying to get my 18-year-old to embrace it.
Yeah, it's not the older.
I love that she's playing.
Yeah, it's so funny. He told me, I asked him, like, who are you playing this with? Because he's not in like a league. Not all the schools have it yet. Yeah. And he's like, I just play with a bunch of seniors. And in my mind, I was like, okay, so they're like, 17, 18 years old. That's pretty cool. And I saw like senior citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not seniors in high school. And he has been doing this for months. Yeah. I was just thinking high schoolers. So then when I went and picked him up, I was like, oh, like 55 and older.
Yeah.
And he loves it. He said they teach him more than any peers his age. So no, I love that. You say kids in pickleball. Now you mentioned anxiety, ADHD. How does that fit into what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. People, as a chiropractor in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to leave that there. Yeah. Governor Beshear, we rank very high in obesity, chronic lifestyle disease, abandoned children, drug issues.
Yeah.
I wrote a proposal for the opiate abatement, and I believed I could make a change, but I need the money to do it.
Yep.
And if somebody believed in what I do, I would love to lead that. But anyway, I digress.
I love that.
What'd you ask me? Anxiety. Teens. People don't understand, but when the neurology in your body is balanced.
Yeah.
So when you have a misalignment in the spine, and this is an argument even in my profession, but clinically, there are 1 million people getting adjusted daily. And clinically, we're proving it. One of the biggest side effects of what I do is more restorative sleep. People come back to me. One of the side effects of chiropractic is restorative sleep. I'm not kidding you. Like that's what people come back.
Sounds beautiful.
And tell me. But the nervous system's brilliantly. So when you have misalignments, when you have kinks in the hose, when you have muscles activated that shouldn't be. So what we correct when that joint is misaligned, everything surrounding it isn't working well. When you correct the joint, the nervous system flows. Oh, guess what? The vascular system, that's what osteopaths, their philosophy was designed to correct, was blood supply. They manipulate differently than we. Okay. We're very specific, and that's part of our training, like pro baseball players. Yeah. Like we are pitchers. We do it. The nervous system, the blood supply. Oh, let's just add in that lymphatic supply. So some of my colleagues don't give all the details I do. Yeah. And, I don't. Again, I am a knucklehead mechanic. I've got great skill, though.
Give you all the,
Getting you back to God's brilliant factory settings. So when you load the spine properly, you don't waste all your energy holding your body upright with musculature. Okay. Your brain doesn't have to recalculate the physics equations. Your hoses are open, so you get brilliant nutrition in and waste product efficiently leaves. When you move your body, all the organs that need movement get squeezed and propel things through. Disease comes from stagnation. You sit all day, Ashley?
All day.
You don't get up and move your body. You don't use a lumbar posture pump. You're going to have things now start to accumulate in your bowels, your bladder, your feminine organs. They're going to stagnate. What I'm seeing in these teenagers is the bowel, the colon is actually expanding. Things still go through, but then you start getting compression internally. Yeah. But if those kids, you do a few adjustments and I get those kids out playing, we may have to retrain a little bit how bad it is. They put down their stupid cell phones. Right. God designed us brilliantly. And when you understand the spine as well as, you can tell I still get excited. No, after 30 years of doing this, I still enjoy every second. Yeah. And it's not that hard. Get up and dance with your children. Dance. Listen to music. My nephews were here recently. Like, we don't listen to music. My brother's into podcasts. He travels a lot. Sure. He does a brilliant job. Like I said, my nephew's ready to go into nationals on motocross racing.
So exciting.
But they don't listen to music. That's interesting. God gave us music and dance. It's in the Bible. And it's not that hard. You can do it. You know, I'm a Grey's Anatomy person, and she and Christina used to dance. It elicits all that chemistry that you spoke about. So tell your friend, get off her butt and turn on her favorite song. Right. I tried to tell people, here's one of the most simplistic things to do, even when I first started practicing. Make a happy place in your house. Yep. Is there a room or a chair or some location? Right. And then activate your five senses. So get a cozy spot, get a picture that brings you joy or something you look at that just brings back your happiest, best memory. Get something that when you touch it, it feels good to you. Somebody might like something pokey. Somebody might like something silky. Get a smell, whether it's aromatherapy or just cut an orange. Maybe, you know, my mama, it was toast. She made me toast. Like whatever it is, like, but get that smell nearby. And then have sounds like a song that we all have that. Bring back a song. And just, if you get 5 or 10 minutes, you don't even have to try to meditate. You don't have to do anything. God already designed you with your senses that you can create a new habit. Just take yourself out of that difficult moment or space. Have those things laying around you in that beautiful space. And just when you're there, you don't have to work that hard. That's what I love about chiropractic and our brain core neurofeedback. It's passive therapy. If you just show up, I can get your spine functioning better.
Get you there.
Neurofeedback, that's one of the easiest things to do. You come in, you sit, you watch TV. You don't have to. Of course, I being an overachiever, when I had my concussions, I sat down to do neurofeedback. So I can speak on it with experience. It saved my life.
You were on the other side of it.
But of course, I sat there staring at the TV with the leads in my hair. And my husband's laughing his butt off like, baby,
it's like, what are you doing?
You can't overachieve on this. You can't.
Like,
you can't.
You can't
just
be
for
a
once in your life.
If we're doing you. Yeah.
So
that's hard, though.
What are the easiest, most basic things you can do with an individual that does have the emotional issues, doesn't have the support around them, doesn't have the business background or acumen? Yeah. How do you, because you've had to learn how to finesse all of that. And you may not have realized you were doing it, but you were, friend.
Not at all. Yeah, not
and
at all.
What are your little what are the things that you've found that you can say to somebody?
Yeah.
For me, it's envisioning the future. What is it you really want in life? And so, like, I
Right.
treat a lot of the local, very successful jockeys, and one of them, I
Okay.
just want to conk him on the head. I'm like, so and
That's
so,
funny.
I don't care about your next. I do because I
Yeah.
like to win, and
Sure.
but I'm like,
Mhm.
I care about you throwing, and I love his daughter.
Yeah.
I care about you throwing her grandchildren up in the air. I want your shoulders
Mm,
to be healthy enough that you can run around the
right.
backyard with your grandchild, and that you can
Right.
throw so and so's child up in the air. Like, I'm thinking
Mhm.
about long term
Yep.
and visualizing that.
Yep. Yep. No, it's funny. I'm very similar. A lot of what we do is there's a lot of similarities planning wise. For me, I speak to people that are just starting, but then also seasoned and how can they grow? They're in a stagnant place. So for seasoned people, I just say keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
What are the 3 basic simple steps with those who are
Yeah.
trying? I think the term is scaling, right?
Scaling. Yeah, that's always
That's the
growth
catchphrase.
scaling. It's if you're just starting out, I think the less money you invest, the better. Has always been mine. If you can do it yourself and you're just starting out, do it yourself. So, getting your LLC or getting your license, do that yourself. Don't pay someone to do it.
Right.
Try to, if you're going to pay for anything, pay for information. Don't pay for them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I've seen is people that pay the big fancy, the legal Zooms or, those things is there's more problems than success. You don't have the money to do it, don't do it. And that's the
Yeah, but you're a
financial
very smart
part.
person.
Cute.
Well, I mean, you
You
are. You
know.
come from a great background. You've got
Yeah.
the education.
I've got good
You can,
people.
in my profession,
Yeah.
I see a lot of these young ladies and they're brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's still a component like they ask us senior ones, hey, can you just go ahead and let me have this or this?
Yeah.
And I resent it because I did what you're saying. I grew from grassroots
Right.
and I had to learn, and we didn't have as much access.
Yeah.
And if I didn't understand something, I had to figure it out
What do you do?
myself.
Right. I think there's beauty in doing the hard thing yourself versus I'm going to invest a lot of money and have someone else do it for me. Because what I've learned doing it myself, I was handwriting letters
Mhm.
to local CPAs and was like, hey, I'm starting out. How can I work with you? How can I help you?
Mhm.
And what I found was in today's world, they respected that more than a beautiful flyer that was bulk printed at a beautiful print shop and didn't look personal at all. The CPAs that got the handwritten letters, they called me. They were like,
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time I got a letter. Thank you for sending it to me.
Yeah.
So keeping it simple. And I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple, going back to the basics, is more important than the new fancy things. Because what you were saying, balance and nutrition, exercise, a plan that isn't going to work overnight.
Mhm.
That was
Patience. Yeah.
the early 1900, late 1800 plan. So if it stood the test of time, it obviously worked. Believe it or not, I'm about to say, as we close,
Okay.
see, you were worried. You were like, how long is this thing going to be? I mean, I could sit and talk for hours with you. So as we close, how can people find you? Is it calling? Is it sending an email, going to the website? How do people
Yeah.
get started?
Brain core, the neurofeedback for anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
chronic issues, etc. Memory. www.braincorelouisville.com.
Okay.
The phone number is 502-203-7766. Devin has a calling service, so you may not talk to him immediately.
Yeah.
You
said you had a bad memory.
Between and among those things. And that business has the capacity to grow their home units.
Oh, okay.
This time of year, those of
Yeah.
you who just got your kids' grade cards, you're defeated, distressed, you can't enjoy the summer because you dread the fall.
Yeah.
This is the time to get started. I think we've got about
Aw.
6 units left
Yeah.
that you can actually do it at home. So time and money are what keeps people from getting well.
Yep.
So if you call 203-7766, you begin with a brain map. It costs
Okay.
$300, and you don't
Yeah.
have to choose to do anything. But you can, that whole you don't know what you don't know, you can
Yep.
learn.
Yep.
Chiropractically, so my website, and that can help you find brain core as well.
Okay.
It's www.askdoctor, spell out the word Dr. Julie,
Okay.
ASKDOCTOR Julie.net.
Cool.
AskDrJulie.net. My number's 253-1135. I'm not hungry for patients. I want not your garden variety.
Sure.
But if you're like, you've been through it and you really finally want to get well,
Yeah.
and you're willing to invest the time and money,
Mm-hmm.
I do these hour-long appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't work much, so supply and demand. I had to limit my
Love that.
supply after
Yeah.
my injuries, but AskDrJulie.net, 253-1135.
Yeah.
Leave a voicemail. I'll get back to you.
You're
I
around.
may not be the most efficient. And we're in the East End of Louisville off the
Cool.
Gene Snyder exit 30. Drop in and say hi.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for spending time with me, taking a risk. Your first, a
This was
huge
fun.
risk, and just sharing so much. I found that the people I've been speaking to recently they have more of a holistic approach. So I have had a chat with essential oils girl, she called herself a holistic practitioner, but
Yeah.
she talked about like meditation and, even hypnosis and things like that. So I'm finding that there is a yearning for learning, and people want to know what worked 100 years ago, because I believe that is what we need to get back to. So very much appreciate what you're doing. As someone that has the posture situation, I'm sure we will bump into each other in the future.
If I could do it all over again, there'd be no wish I would, should have been. Spend more time with my family and friends. If I could do it all over again, I'd wake up early.